Hello everybody, I'm Elwirfy and today we are playing more of Stories from Seoul, the Gundog, and we just found out that Vanessa is trying to say both the captain and our girlfriend Cassandra are traitors, and that's not okay. So we're immediately going to try and put a stop to this. My one priority now is, as I had suspected, is to make sure that Cassie is safe, and in order for Cassie to be safe, we need to side with the captain for sure, because at first I was thinking, well, maybe my character could let it slide if the captain gets removed from office, but if they're going to do something bad to Cassandra also, then that's pushing the boundaries. Like, that's not okay. So we definitely need to stop Vanessa if we can. Also, I highly suspect she's the one who murdered the doctor. Or Hansen did it, and then they framed someone else. Oh man, there's a lot that could have gone wrong. Anyway, let's see what she says. You expect me to believe that the captain and her second-in-command are both incapacitated exactly when their clearance is needed to maintain ship operations? And that somehow an unknown craft, clearly made by our enemies, manages to make its way into our hangar, having already destroyed the O'Brien from within and killing its crew? Wait. The battle in space, as Hansen should have explained, like the fact that we landed in the hangar was an accident. Our engines were stuck. Our controls did not fire and function. So we had no choice but to go into the hangar. It was only because of Dalton saving us that even worked out. Don't tell me this is a coincidence. It's clearly treachery. Oh, she's crazy. The Gundog and the O'Brien are obviously both being offered up as test data for a new enemy weapon, and Bartimeus and Quinn are traitors who sold us out. Why else would they keep us from reactivating the Gundog? How else could that craft have gotten on board without help? Why would Quinn be mysteriously out of sight when that happened? Because she's been hurt, like, the whole time, ever since the EMP. And then Dr. Rosarium ends up dead when she's in his care. What did he find out? Did she decide he knew too much? Not only is Quinn a traitor, she's a murderer too. Oh, fuck no. Lord, that's insane. How the hell could... You want to be careful, Lieutenant. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt, since you were the one that brought the Gundog back online and were with Ensign Cruz during the attack. But your close association with Lieutenant Commander Quinn means that I had my eyes on you for a while, and I'm by no means confident that you're nothing to do with this. Okay, so I'm not even on your side of the coup now, so you've just established that I've no reason to side with you, because you don't even see me as an equal. After all, Ensign Cruz didn't see anyone else in the sickbay after the doctor's murder except you and Quinn. How could I have... Very suspicious. Still, for now it seems like I can trust you. I don't know why, but okay. So, as per Section 16, Article 12, I'm announcing that all crew present, with the exception of Mary's Bartimeus, have the choice as to whether they wish to continue to serve under my rightfully mandated authority, or if they'd like to maintain the allegiance to the traitor and be treated as co-conspirators when we get back to the Europa colony. An agonizing silence falls in the room as Vanessa stands proudly amongst the crew, who shift nervously. Both Hansen and Haru keep their guns trained on the crew, on each side of the room, compounding the uneasy quiet. Oh, so they're not pointing their guns at me anymore. I don't think. Don't worry, I'll be happy to take any lack of response as an affirmative. As the silence drags on, it's clear that none of the crew are on board with the idea, but at the same time it's obvious that none of them have enough loyalty to the captain to justify the risk of being charged with treachery. For you, though, this isn't about the captain, it's about Cassie. That's what I'm saying! That's exactly what I'm saying! Thank God! Okay, at least we're on the same page. Lord, what do you think about what you're doing? Taking a medical command is one thing, but accusing the captain and Cassie of treason is... Plus, don't forget that Cassie's totally incompetent. She's really bad at her job, in my opinion. So, because of her technical screw-ups and stuff. So I really don't think she could have even planned to be a traitor. But also because she's been incapacitated most of the time, most of the game. This sounds an awful lot like a no, Lieutenant. You grit your teeth and breathe in. It is a no. There's no way I join in with your scheme. This is nothing but your personal grudge. You saw a chance and you took it. There's no way the JCF will take your side in this. That's a shame, Lieutenant. I really thought you had more sense than that. But I suppose this is no surprise. At least it resolves matters. Crews? Nothing personal, Wirfs. Orders are orders. Yeah, just... Shifting his weapon's focus from the Chief and Dalton to you, Hansen walks across the room, stopping only to sweep an arm out from underneath the slowly recovering captain, who's again attempting to return to her feet, sending her back to the floor. Make life easy for both of us, huh, Lieutenant? Turning on her heels, Vanessa returns to the captain's chair, sitting with a smug expression on her face. Chief Engineer Cathy's, Cadet Grange, I want those engines online now. As soon as they're operational, we'll be heading back to Europa Colony. We're in Officer D's. I want you back in fire control and to remain on high alert. We're going to assume we're in enemy territory, and I want you on the lookout for any hostile activity. Understood? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Oh. What's that, Chief Engineer Cathy's? Yes, Captain. You're all dismissed. With that, the 3 crew members quickly depart from the bridge and in a single elevator, leaving you with Vanessa, the 2 pilots, and the captain. Ensign Rumney, take care of Miss Bartimeus. Sure thing, Captain. Showing their gun in the back of their waistband as Haru walks over to the captain and lackadaisically delivers a kick into the captain's stomach, causing her to heave and curl into a fetal position. Come on, Bartimeus, let's get going. Dragging the captain upright, Haru holds onto her until she's able to stand, shoving her towards the elevator as soon as she can stagger forwards. Once they're both on the elevator, the pilot turns to you, looking over the top of their shades as the doors slide closed. You made a bad choice, Wirfs. I don't give a shit. As soon as the doors of the elevator containing Haru and the captain are closed, the doors on the other open, and you feel the muzzle of Hansen's gun is thrust into your back. One more thing. Keeping his gun firmly pressed into the small of your back, Hansen leans around your side and draws your electroshock weapon from its holster. Stepping back, he slides your weapon into a pocket within his jacket before gripping his gun with both hands and returning his muzzle to the small of your back. Don't want you getting any ideas. Take him away, Ensign. Yes, ma'am. Oh, they're not killing me. Really, they should. Hansen shoves his gun harder into your back, and you reluctantly comply, walking across the bridge to avoid the waiting elevator. Once in, you turn around, and Hansen keeps his gun trained on you, and behind him, you can see Vanessa sneering at you from the captain's chair. It's really a shame, Lieutenant. I'd had such high hopes for you. I don't give a fuck. Before you're able to tell Vanessa what you'd hoped for her, the doors slide closed, and you're left in silence with Hansen. Okay. Interesting. Once you arrive in the central hub, you're unceremoniously shunted at gunpoint through the ship towards your quarters. Once outside, Hansen gestures towards the terminal at the side of the door. Understanding his instructions, you take out your keycard, run it through the reader, and enter your security code. As soon as the door opens, Hansen snatches the card out of your hand and shoves you into the room, causing you to stagger your way inside. Leaning nonchalantly against the door frame, his boot positioned to stop the door from closing automatically, Hansen looks at you wordlessly. He remains silent for a few short seconds, with a ruminative expression on his face, until you manage to stand back and turn to face him. Once you've regained your composure, he straightens up and angles the gun towards you. You know, Wirfs, I was beginning to come around on you. What's that supposed to mean? Hansen smirks. The stuff you've done, you're actually kind of alright. You might not be the coward you were back on the Clyke anymore. Thanks. Good to know I've changed your mind. Hey, don't get too ahead of yourself, Wirfs. You might not be a coward, but you're still an idiot. You should have gone with the rest of the crew and sided with Lord. Now you, Bartimeus, and your girlfriend are going to get pulled up on treason. There's no way the JCF's going to believe her. You, Lord Rumney, you're all going to get court-martialed for mutiny. I don't know about that, Wirfs. Lord's got some pretty serious evidence. She got it all figured out. This is how it ends, Lieutenant. You going down for some third-rate captain and your airhead girlfriend. Hope it's worth it. It's a shame. I was kind of looking forward to grabbing a drink with you and Rumney back on Europa. Whatever. We'll pour one out for you. Oh, thanks. Hey, don't worry about it. Now, get comfy, Lieutenant. You're gonna have a dull trip back to Europa. As Hansen turns to walk away, you leap towards him. Oh, shit. As Hansen turns to walk away, you leap towards him, aiming to get your hand in the way of the door to prevent it from closing. Before you can make it to the door, Hansen pivots once again and levels the gun at you, stopping inches away from the door. Ah, damn. Hansen, you prick! Ah, fuck. You yell, banging your fist on the door. You can't do this. With your head in your hands, you turn back away from the door and sit down on your bunk, your mind racing as you think about Vanessa's mutiny, the prospect of getting court-martialed, and what might happen to Cassie. Cassie's all that matters. You're so angry that you can barely think straight. Different thoughts rush through your mind, but you can't focus for long until it's replaced by another, and your mind becomes a rolling storm of emotion. Eventually, after much pacing, swearing, an occasional kick delivered to the now stubborn shut door, you manage to calm down enough to begin formulating a plan. She's not going to get away with this. She's not. April 24th, Planetary Calendar 214. Following the murder of Dr. Rosarium, Lieutenant Lord takes command of the JFS Gundog on grounds that both Captain and her second-in-command are unfit for duty. As her first act, Captain Lord has Mary's Bartimeus and Lieutenant Commander Quinn confined to their quarters on suspicion of treason. The ship's security officer, Lieutenant Wirfs, is also confined to his quarters after refusing to follow the new chain of command. Jovian Space, Lieutenant Wirfs' quarters, the Jovian patrol ship JFS Gundog. You wince and draw your hand back from the wall panel next to your bunk. After spending a half an hour unsuccessfully trying to find the catch to remove the panel, all you'd managed to do was snag your nail on an edge and tear it. Ow, that's painful. With a loud exhalation, you move from your bed to the computer terminal and on the other side of the room. You idly hit a few keys, but the only response you get is a screen displaying the same familiar text as the last few times you tried it. Access denied, insufficient authority. As easy as it was to hate her, you had to give Vanessa credit. Her machinations had clearly been well thought through. Nothing had been missed when it came to making sure you would remain imprisoned. You hadn't noticed it when you'd awoken earlier, but someone must have gone through your quarters whilst you were unconscious. Small items like your nail, scissors, and metal bookmark had been taken, leaving you with nothing to pry open the access panels. Sitting down on the chair in the front of the terminal, you wondered how long she'd been planning this and how much she'd accounted for. Placing your elbows on the keyboard, your head in your hands, you sigh again. You'd gone through every trick you'd learned in your time as a security officer, and none of them were helping you get out of here. Oh, so we just have to sit and wait. Leaning back and looking at your watch, as you see it's been nearly 6 hours since you've been imprisoned. You'd felt the rumble of the Gundog's engines coming back to life about 3 hours ago. Okay, so we're going to make our way back to, I guess, Europa. It would only be a matter of days now until we arrived at Europa Colony. Okay. Waiting for you there, if Vanessa was successful, was a trial for treachery. You put your head in your hands again at the thought. There was only one outcome for a guilty verdict on that charge. Execution. Ooh, okay. So this is a race against time. Ugh. Leaning back in the chair, you stare listlessly at the ceiling. There had to be something you could do. I assume... You kneel down by the storage drawers in the setting frame underneath your bunk and push on one, causing the drawer to spring open and slide towards you. Pulling it as far as it will go, you shove your possessions to either side and lean in to get a view of the inside. Rats. As you'd suspected, the underside of your bunk is sealed off with more metal paneling, and the drawer is designed to catch on the inner framework before it slides all the way out. With the main material in its construction being steel and everything being welded together, you know you've got no chance of pulling the drawer out and crawling through. Scratch that idea. What do we do here? Let's give this one more go. You clamber up onto your bed and once again run your fingertips around the edge of the panel, trying to find any or give any sign of a catch that you think you can use to remove the panel. Unlike the cover for the emergency mechanism in the airlock, this panel is clearly designed not to be removed using your bare hands. Without a tool, there's no way I'm getting this panel off. Great. I have Cassandra's key card. Anything I can do with it? Interesting. Hold on. Let's try the terminal. Okay, let's see. You type in a few commands and attempt at navigating further into the terminal's interface, but every action you carry out is met with the same response. Access denied, insufficient authority. Yeah, I thought so. Alright. I mean, this is a point and click game. There's only so much I can do. Unless we're supposed to look at the ceiling. These are the only clickable things. Okay, let's try the door, I guess. You spend a few minutes examining the control pad next to the door, tapping on the casing, pressing buttons, and investigating the wiring that runs from underneath before settling on your course of action. Hey! Hey, Rumney, are you going to let me out or what? Hey, Rumney, can you hear me? Let me out. Shut up, Wirfs. Yeah, that went as well as expected. Sign, you run your hands through your hair, wondering if there's anything left for you to try. You're just about to make another attempt at levering the panel next to your bunk off the wall when someone knocks loudly on the door. Step back from the door, Wirfs. What do you want, Rumney? Just shut up and do it. With a sigh, you move back on the far side of your quarters. You moved? Yeah. Now, you just stay there, Wirfs. You roll your eyes. What did they think you were going to do? You're lucky the captain's so generous you get room service. Haru steps back. Dylan comes around the corner, carrying a tray of food from the vendor in the mess hall. Hey, Lieutenant, how's it? Whoa. Let's chat there, Dees. Tray on the ground and walk away. Yeah, chill out, Rumney. Whatever. Muttering under his breath, Dylan lays the tray on the ground, halfway between you and the door, and walks out of the room, with Haru keeping their gun trained on you in the entire time. Looking down at the tray, you see that it's fairly standard metal, burger, fries, and a soda from one of the vending machines. You had to assume that Dylan had chosen this for you, as you couldn't imagine either of the pilots being so generous. Now stay where you are. With her free hand, Haru reaches for the control panel on the opposite side of the door. Within a second door slides shut, and you hear the click of its lock. You sigh to yourself. You weren't happy about the situation you were in, but at least they were feeding you. Well, I guess we'll eat. You take the metal tray over to the terminal and sit down in the chair, balancing your food on the keyboard in order to use it as a makeshift table. At least Vanessa freed you when you were starting to worry that you'd left your quarters the entire journey back to Europa Colony with no one bothering to check in on you. After picking at the fries, you realize the burger in your... you raise a burger to your mouth and bite down. Ah, what the hell? You place the burger back on the tray and you run your tongue over your teeth. You'd bitten down on something hard. Pulling back the top of the bun to investigate, you find an entirely unexpected ingredient. Haha, Dylan, yes! Resting between the imitation lettuce and the beef is a small pocket screwdriver, just short enough to be hidden within the burger. Grabbing it with a napkin, you inspect it. Not only is it small enough to wedge between the gaps in the panels that make up the sharp ceilings, walls, and floors, but it's also got the right size head to unscrew fixtures you may come across. Oh, this is perfect. You whisper to yourself. I was going to say, I thought we were probably just going to take the metal tray and wedge it, but hey, that works too. I got a screwdriver. You stand up and put it to use, but your stomach immediately roars in protest. Okay, first things first, I guess. You place the screwdriver in your pocket and pick the burger back up, quickly devouring both it and the fries. All right, now it's time. All right, let's get the fuck out of here. All right, let's see. You clamber up onto the bed and run your fingers over the seam between the panel and the rest of the wall. Much like you discovered on your last inspection, there is no give in the panel and certainly not enough space for you to work your fingers into in order to undo the catches that held it to the wall. You'd need to approach this differently if you were going to get anywhere. Fine. Let's try the drawers. Kneeling down by a drawer, you open it and shove your belongings to one side if you're inside. You can't see beyond the rearmost panel, and your attempt to remove it ends in failure. Oh. Whoops. We need to use the screwdriver. No. I don't understand. I did it, though. You approach the terminal, screwdriver in hand, and pause for a moment. Although you can see the screws fit its external casing in place, you struggle to think of any good that might get done by taking it apart. I'm just going to leave this alone for now. There's no one to talk to. Do I do it on the door? Even if I could get the door open, Haru's on the other side. I don't see them hesitating to pull the trigger. I mean, did I not click the right thing? Alright, let's see. You clamber up to the bed and run your fingers on the wall. Ah, here we go. Taking the screwdriver out of your pocket, you work it into the small gap between the panel and the surrounding wall. You slowly run it along this parting for a few inches until you feel it catch on something. Following some careful movement, you hear the sound of a latch undoing. That's the one. You repeat this action a few more times along the different parts of the panel. Eventually, the final latch is undone and the whole thing falls towards you. Now, let's go. You carefully lower the panel off your bed and place it to the floor so as not to alert Haru before investigating what you'd revealed. Damn it. You cuss under your breath. Where you'd hoped to see a large space that you could crawl into, you were instead met with a solid steel structural wall, only a few inches of space between it, and there was a panel behind where the panel had been affixed. You grip the screwdriver tighter and suppress the urge to pound your fist against the wall in frustration. You'd been so close. Despite a follow-up examination, there was no way you could get into the newly revealed space, not that it looked like it led anywhere anyway. With a deep sigh, you step off the bed. It looked like you'd have to find another way out of here. Okay, we're going to use the drawers and try the screwdriver. Taking out the screwdriver, you trace it along every seam and edge within the drawer, and with what little underside what little of the underside of the bunk you can access. Unfortunately, you realize everything's welded together, leaving you with nothing that you could disassemble. There was no easy way, no way you were taking this apart with just a screwdriver. Oh! This wasn't here before. There's a floor panel. Let's see how good Cassie's knowledge of illicit ship-based activities is. Who am I kidding? Knowing her, if there's a way to break a rule without getting caught, she knows it. You inspect the floor panels, finding where it meets another. Yeah, I didn't even know that was a choice to grab at. You take the screwdriver from your pocket and slide it into the gap of the seams between the floor panels. You slowly begin to slide it along the seam, and it's only a few seconds before you feel it catch on something. Using your knowledge of how the catches worked from the wall panel you'd removed, you're easily able to undo each one you run into, and the panel noticeably lifting away from the floor with each catch that's released. After a few minutes of work, you undo the last catch. Okay. Despite its unwieldy size, you're able to shift the panel out of its original position without creating much noise, revealing a 3-foot drop-down into a small tunnel that disappears into darkness in both directions. Wiping the sweat from your brow, you dust off your hands as you look over the passageway you revealed. Let's move to crew quarters 1. No. Even if I could, Hansen and Haru would be out there. It's not going to be that easy. I guess we'll just... As you stand above the entrance that you've just revealed, you look around your quarters one more time. Let's see. Is there anything else I need to do in here? Or should I get going? Once I go, there's no coming back. Wait, let's... Eventually, you decide to stay in your quarters for just a little longer. You don't know why, but there's something about committing to the decision makes hesitate. Not yet. Well, what am I waiting for? Well, I had that option for... Oh, the books. Whatever's going behind that wall probably isn't going to help me, so I should really get moving. Okay, fine. Let's just go. I don't know why I would want to... Yeah, why wouldn't I wait? Yeah, leave. What the fuck? Yeah, you gaze into the darkness that lies ahead of you. After a few moments of thought, your mind is made up. It's time to go. To prepare for your escape, you return to the panel that you'd removed from the wall or to its original position to make sure that all the catches are reconnected to the mounting points. You prepare to do the same for the floor panel, sliding it into position where you'll be able to replace it once you're in the crawlway. Once it's in place, you lower yourself down into the space underneath the floor, kneel down, and slowly drag the panel over the opening above you. It takes you a few attempts to get it into the correct position, but eventually you have it, and all the mounts slide neatly back into the catches that had secured it in place. Cool. That's great. Now in absolute darkness, you drop to your knees and reach out with one hand, groping at the darkness. Now you've got no idea what lies ahead, but you begin to crawl forward. The absolute darkness of the crawlway leaves you disoriented as you fumble your way forwards. Every now and again, you hit a corner, a drop or a rise that adjusts your trajectory. Hearing nothing but the gentle hum of the ship's systems, your own awkward shuffling is unable to make out anything except for a dry, musty scent that has replaced the sterile smell that permeates the Gundog. You quickly lose your sense of direction and location. With nowhere to go but onwards, you continue slowly. You have no idea how long it's taken you, but you realize that you're able to distinguish between the vague features of your surroundings. Sharp edges are now ever so slightly visible, and the seams and bolts that make up the inside of the crawlways have faded to view. Renewed by the potential that light coming from somewhere must mean there's an opening leading into some accessible part of the ship up ahead, you speed up, taking advantage of your restored vision to make your way forward without incident. You turn a corner and are met with a shaft of light that is broken up by the slow, lazy rotation of an overhead fan. Ooh, finally. As you continue forward on the light, you also see that your singular path is now divided with 4 routes branching off into different directions, albeit with no indication of where they might head. Oh, I didn't memorize the routes. I think we should go for the familiar aroma, because maybe that's Cassie's room. I hope. I mean, is there anything to use? Oh, what's this? Let's look. You look up to see the source of the light and shield your eyes as it dazzles you. Squinting, you're able to make out that whatever is illuminating the area of the crawlways you found yourself in sits on the other side of a large spinning fan blade, roughly 15 feet above you. I wonder where that is. I mean, clearly there's different routes, but I almost want to take this off. Can we do anything there? You crawl underneath the light that's cast down from above you, and take the opportunity to stand up and stretch, shaking off some of the stiffness that had been built up by traversing the ship on your hands and knees. Shielding your eyes again, you look up at the fan. If you had to guess, it was somewhere between 15 and 20 feet above you. As you look around the vertical shaft you stood in, you realize that there aren't any ladder rungs or grips that would let you climb upwards. Even if there were, you don't see any control panel nearby that would let you stop the fan's blades. As useful as your pocket screwdriver was, there was no way you'd be able to climb all the way up and then take a fan apart whilst it was in motion. With a sigh, you kneel back down, and eventually your choices amongst the other crawlways. Okay, guys, we'll go ahead and move towards the aroma, but before we do that, I think we're going to call the episode here, just because we're running short on time, and I certainly wouldn't want to leave in the middle of an important event, as much as I do try and avoid that as much as I can. So thank you all for watching. I hope you guys have had a ton of fun watching me play this game. I'm really enjoying playing this game a lot, actually. This game's fantastic. So definitely make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Obviously, there's more story to go. I really thought that battle outside in space was kind of going to be the end of it, but I forgot about the whole mutiny subplot, so now we got to take back the ship, it would seem. So I'm really excited to see where it's going to go. I'm really liking this game. This is a lot of fun. And I hope you have too. Make sure to leave comments below if you have any ideas or suggestions. Obviously, this is all pre-recorded, so I'll reply to comments as I'm able to. And with that, again, I'm Elwirfy, and I will definitely be seeing you guys next time. Take care, everyone.